How are we doing? How are we doing? How are we doing? Good morning, boys and girls. Hope you're well. It's reset day for at least us on Team EU anyway. Team NA, you've probably had your reset a little while ago. Hope everybody's doing well. We have Warcraft Direct today, which I'm kind of looking forward to. This means that this morning's stream might be a little shorter because we'll stream again this evening. We'll sit down, we'll watch Warcraft Direct, we'll have a few beers this evening. We'll live react to whatever's going on. But it's time to have a little bit of a poke around, a little bit of a play. I want to start in a weird position. You know how I've been talking about thaumaturgy for ages? I finally got my ass together yesterday and spent an hour or two trying to figure out thaumaturgy. And I've been trying to do some clever stuff, and I don't know how clever the clever stuff actually is, but we will see. A license to react, yeah, no commissions to the fine bros. We'll watch it. It starts for me. Well, actually, the dashboard tells you exactly when it starts, doesn't it? When is it? Warcraft Direct. 8 hours, 36 minutes to go. If I was smart, if I was clever, if I was fancy, I'd put something on the screen. But I think people know when it is. Their browser will showcase it. But yeah, we'll watch this later. But I've been trying to do some clever stuff with thaumaturgy. And this is the first time this expansion that I feel I have properly used Trade School Master for what it's actually beneficial for. And I've done some wild stuff. Whether I turn this into a YouTube video or a guide or something like that, I've yet to decide because I don't know if it really works yet. But I've been doing some. I've been using my TSM brain. And I've been doing some TSM magic. I've made a new thaumaturgy profile, and I've been I've been doing some maths. I've been doing a little bit of maths. What I'm in essence trying to do here is trying to configure my Trade School Master to give me relatively accurate shopping prices. Shopping prices for certain materials as and when they are thaumaturgible and can be easily converted into other goodies. Now, I've not completely decided whether the maths is correct. I've had to borrow some maths from some publicly available sources, so I'm not 100% sure how I trust it, but I've based it on what I think is relatively sensible numbers, and all of this craziness, which I'm sure I'll get quizzed on many times, in essence just tries to work out a price to where buying such item is valuable enough to run it through the alchemy mill. Hopefully meaning, with alchemy, I can go, open TSM, ignore the fact that we've got a bunch of herbs on the auction house. I can, in theory, run a shopping scan. Now, there's still the obvious problem of bait auctions, but we can work around that. This shopping scan now should search for all of the materials that can be run through the alchemy mill and give me a percentage based on whether I should be buying them or not. So Mycobloom Q1, for example, right now, we can see that there's quite a bit Mycobloom Q1 that we can purchase. Now, unfortunately, buying shit with TSM is actually tragic. So for this, once I've figured out what I want to buy, we go back in, we go Mycobloom Q1. Now that TSM has told us what is the right one to buy, and we can see we've got a max sniper price of 12 gold, 12 silver. So I can comfortably buy that. We can go yoink. And if we run that through the alchemy mill, we should set ourselves up to make a profit off it. I was testing this a little bit yesterday. I'm hoping that it kind of works. There's a few things we sold, a few things we didn't sell. But I know there are spreadsheets out there that do this sort of stuff, but I didn't want to have to rely on a spreadsheet for this all the time, because it means you've then got to have the spreadsheet open, you've got to input numbers. I know clever people do clever things with spreadsheets to get TSMs or auctionators' prices in there, but I thought if I can do it all in game, why not do it all in game? And so now, in theory, with all of that mycobloom, whilst I get things up and running this morning, we're going to get that running, get that churning through. We've got Quick Hands Vial on the go. Have I got an Ambidextrous Doodah? My Weaver buff is only 15% because I'm a slacker and I hate that zone, and so I very rarely do anything in it. But that should give us 73% crafting speed. That's fine. Right, now the theory is we should be able to smush all of this through our thaumaturgy build. And in a mere... Give me a number. Give me a number. Give me a number. It will calculate in a minute. In a mere 10 minutes time, we should have smushed all the mycobloom down. And we will then be able to smush the ominous transmutagens, the mercurial transmutagens, and any volatile transmutagens we get off the back of that as well. Turn all our gleaming glory into magical stuff. And by the time we processed it all, this should be green. That's the theory, at least. At least I'm hoping that should then be green. And if it is, it means we bought the mycobloom at a cheap enough price. That's what this entire thing is set up to manage and configure. Now, the reason I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to share this magic with everybody is because it kind of requires you to also have a max alchemy build. The maths is based on having a max alchemy build, and if you don't have that max build, it just straight up won't work, or it will give you false numbers or wrong numbers. But I'm going to let this churn. I'm going to get myself another coffee, and in about 5 minutes time, 10 minutes time, after we've processed the mycobloom, this number's probably not going to be green, but what it should do is turn green when we smush all of the transmutagens that we get from this. That's where the money comes from, in theory. Have you decided that the non-stop crafting add-on is safe to use? Well, I kind of think it's probably fine to use, because what it's actually doing. I don't know what it could. I just thought fuck it, honestly. I'm of the opinion that an add-on, seemingly all it's doing is moving stacks, which is not too different from pressing the sort button, and it's not really it's not, as far as I'm aware anyway, it's not something that is considered automatic. I don't know. I think it's probably fine. But I still would sort of suggest people use it there. Yeah, I'm still on the fence, but you know, it's clearly going to be doing things that are within the rules of the Lua code. And at the end of the day, if Blizzard doesn't like it, they should break the add-on. I don't think the add-on itself is doing anything that is deemed true automation. I'm a little on the fence because, like I said, I don't know exactly how it works, and I don't know how fussy Blizzard is with this sort of stuff. But you know, the one thing I might do is I might ping a DM over to Blizzard and just say, hey, can you take a look at this add-on? Can you know, confirm or deny whether this is, you know, all above board and doesn't fall under the category of automation? Because it's a little bit hard to see because my camera's in the way, but it's doing something in chat which is indicating that it's moving items from one position to another to basically keep it's like every 10 seconds or so pretty stacking your materials. You'll see this stack of mycobloom keeps increasing. It keeps filling that stack back up so that this just keeps working. Which I don't think is you must press a button to do this, because, you know, like the sort button For example, sort functions in other add-ons are basically doing exactly that. So I don't think it's problematic. I don't think it's problematic, or at least I feel it's safe enough that I'm using it. And while if I get swatted for it, then at least we know, don't we? So enjoy it until the crafting requires a hardware event. Yeah, that's the thing that Blizzard could change. They could make it so that it is not something that can be called upon via an API call or Lua or whatever the tech is that runs it. It's not called non-stop crafting. What is it called? Mass Salvage Assist, I think, is the add-on name. I'm pretty sure. Genji, welcome in. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you're well. Good efforts with the craft sims, by the way. I'm liking the improvements. Not being able to craft across stacks is pretty stupid to begin with. Yeah, I'm not sure why the game doesn't just take the total number that you have. But then again, I guess it's got to physically remove the items every time it does something, hasn't it? So it's got, I don't know. There's probably more to it behind the scenes. I don't know how this shit works. I just play the game. So I'm a bit kind of like, you know, I live in what's the word? A state of blissful ignorance about this sorts of stuff. I'm naturally cautious about it because I definitely don't want to be breaking the rules because I value my account enough, but at the same time, I'm sure it's probably fine. I'm sure there's probably other add-ons out there that are doing far more fancy, far more questionable things than pretty stacking materials. I should note that it only does it for materials in your bags as well. It's not doing it for any of your war bank stuff or guild banks or something else. So there's probably some limitations there. It can do it with items in your bags, but I don't know. Anyway, let me put another coffee on. It's a double coffee day today because I've been up hours already. We'll do some story time as to why in a minute, but give me 2 minutes, boys and girls. Or well, maybe a maximum of 5. A tragedy has occurred. I am nearly out. I am nearly out of apple juice. I have half a glass of apple juice. Get my vitamin C in before we drink more coffee. Crafting does require a hardware event though. It's just that those salvage recipes, which are a little bit weird with the stacks. Oh, okay. Oh, well, see, now I don't know. I don't even know. I'll use it, and I'll use it for a while, and if I catch a ban, I catch a ban. It'll be a good excuse for a holiday. Now, what we can see here is that this number is nowhere near green. And the expectation is for this number not really to be green yet. The where that we make our money, the where that we make our profit is not in converting the materials first time round. It's smushing all of the transmutagens that we get. That's where the profit starts to kick in, because that the resource they create themselves, and so it's a little bit difficult to value these things, simply because when you break one of them down, you get the other one, and so it's kind of like a circular, I don't know, there's probably a fancy maths word for it that I'm not clever enough to understand, but an infinite money glitch. Not quite that to that degree, but in that sort of vein, yeah. It means it's pretty hard to calculate because you've got multi-layers to the crafting cycle. And then you could just play Factorio all day long. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess if we did catch a ban for using an add-on that I'm still 50-50 about, then it would be a really good excuse to just play Factorio all day. Why are you not playing World of Warcraft? Banned, mate. Completed it, mate. Yeah, we'll see. I keep seeing other content creators dip into Factorio as well, and it's getting me itchy to go play it again. I spotted Carnage has been Co's been playing Factorio on his stream a whole bunch, and I can't even begin to imagine how many players he's converted to the dark side. Because even on an off day, he sits at 5k concurrent viewers. I'm pretty sure he's going to have converted an awful lot of people to the realms of Factorio. Ripperoni, pepperoni, their Christmases. Right, we're a minute away. The number's still red. The expectation is that the number probably will be red. We have to come from behind to convert this into a green number, and the question is how green can we make the number once we've finished? I'm afraid to start it. I've got stuff to do in the house. Yeah. Yeah, well, the reason I've been up for hours, and the reason my last few days have been a little bit skew-whiff in terms of personal schedule, is some of you will know that behind this wall here is a silo, and in that silo is tons and tons of like pellets, and it's those pellets that we run through a burner, and the burner heats our water, and that gives us our hot water, and that gives us our heating throughout the entire house. That system though is an absolute pain in the ass, because on a monthly basis you have to go clean the burner and you have to make sure everything's working right, and I didn't install it. I don't know exactly how it works. I'm learning on the spot, I'm guessing, and more often than not it breaks on me, and I hate the damn thing if I'm brutally honest, but the last couple of days it's not been working properly, so I've been trying to fix it, and we finally this morning had a guy come out and look at it and was like, oh yeah, this pipe is blocked. Oh, well, there we fucking go then. He unblocked the pipe, gave me a €60 bill, and went on his way, and now it works again. Ka-ching. Great. But yeah, that's annoyingly been keeping me up at night, because it's also getting cold here, and when we don't have the system working, we don't really have a backup solution. I have a air conditioning unit in here for backup heating in here, but the main house has nothing. And yeah, it stresses me the fuck out, but it's fixed. Unblocking is €1, knowing what to do is the other €59. Yes, and it was only a €60 bill because we know this guy quite well, and that's mates rates. Most of the time you'd be paying €100 just for him to turn up at your house before he does anything. So I was kind of thankful for that. Right, let's smush the rest of these things through the mill. Let's put the mercurial transmutagens through the mill. That one then, because these in essence don't have a cost to them, everything that they create is positive monies, and this number then goes back the other way. We've got to get it to go enough the other way that the number turns green. Pack B, welcome in. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You used to live in Helsinki with probably the electric heating. I bet you miss civilization now. Well, yeah, the advantage is electric heating is like twice the price. The advantage of the brain ache of this machine is it's cheap, right? That's the main thing. What we can potentially do at some point is where we live now, we have access to, I don't know what the actual word is in Finnish. I don't really know how to describe it in English either, but the city's heating hot water supply We can tap into that as it actually runs down our road, but it would in essence be probably 20k to tap into it, and then we just have hot water on tap, like quite literally. But it's that's a long-term investment. It's more expensive because you pay for what you use at that point. District heating, yeah, that's probably the easiest way to describe it. That's on my wish list. I don't think Santa's going to bring me that for Christmas though. I'll have to sell a few more copies of the guide, I think, before we look at that. My wife might need a bonus or two. Can you profit from thaumaturgy without using the daily cooldowns or transmuting? I'm not familiar with it in this expansion. You can periodically. It's, you know, the concept with thaumaturgy is when one material dips below a certain price point, you can convert it into the other materials for a profit. It's about knowing where those thresholds are and knowing what material you need to buy and what material you need to run through the mill. Which requires a lot of understanding of the system in terms of yields and proc rates and all of this sort of stuff. Also kind of requires you to have a strong pot of gold sat there to buy a bunch of materials as and when, because the margins are very skinny even right now. I only set this up yesterday. I've been working on setting this up for a while, but I hadn't had the knowledge points or the tools or the skill or anything yet to really give it a good go. This isn't looking too fruitful though, I will say that. We're still in minus numbers. Geothermal could also be an option, but installation costs are up there as well. Yeah, geothermal is possible. It's another alternative. Drill a huge great big hole deep into the ground and pull heat from underneath us, which is also possible, but it's kind of one of those things that you'd plan to do before building a house. Once the house is there, it's a bit more difficult to tap into, albeit not impossible. We've made some more of these. Okay, we're out of transmutagens and we've not crossed the positive point yet. Well, blasphemites are going to have to do it for me then. Okay, that what were we smushing? Mycobloom, Q1 Mycobloom. We took a gamble, and the reality is it didn't really pay off. But at the same time, we didn't lose anything, so we were right on the line. We're right on the line. Now, the issue with that is that it still requires us to go out and actually sell all of this shit as well, which is, we haven't made anything yet. We haven't made anything until we sell it, which is another step in the risk. But it does give me an indication that my maths and my calculus is not far off. It might need a little bit of a tweak, a little bit of a tune. How do you get the transmutagens? Well, the basic concept then is that thaumaturgy is a system where you take 20 of one material and you break it down. And when you break it down, it breaks down into other components, usually 3 other components. So, for example, we were breaking down Mycobloom, and when you break down Mycobloom, you get weaver cloth, you get bismuth, and you get storm dust, I believe, are the 3 that you get. The results are pretty well determined. There's not much variance in the results, but you take one material and you convert it into 3 others. Those 3 others, though, there is a loss to this. You put 20 materials in and you on average get 10 materials out. So you've got to bear in mind that as well. But then what you need to calculate is, well, what is the value of what you get out of it compared to what you put in it? So 20 of one material going in, you need to make at least that value of the 10 materials you get out of it. So you're often buying the cheapest material in the hope of turning it into more of a more expensive material. So when you've got things like lure drops, you've got Aratha's spears, you've got some of like the higher tier, higher tier materials that you're trying to focus on. Storm dust is another one. Materials that are more expensive, you're trying to break down the cheaper materials and hopefully turn them into the more expensive materials. During the process, you also create transmutagen, which is a byproduct of the process. You can then smush these transmutagens as well, and they turn back into materials. And you're cycling it through the thaumaturgy system, and you're hopefully doing it so that you end up with more than what you put in the machine, you know. But the maths is not simple. The maths is not straightforward. To have it all done in game rather than using spreadsheets and stuff, I've got this system on the go, which I'm hoping my maths and my numbers are reasonably accurate here, but I'm still not 100% convinced it doesn't need some tweaking. It's not easy. It's probably much easier to do with a spreadsheet. In fact, I've seen people do spreadsheets, and I took some influence from some publicly available spreadsheets to get me going. Shadowlands, Vietnam, flashbacks with those formulas. Oh, tell me about it. Tell me about it. That's not the whole thing. Like, it's only showing like a fraction of the actual formula. If we go into one of these, you can see it's a big boy formula. I've got, I've got nested custom price sources in here. I've got custom price sources for some of the transmutagens. They are then being referenced in other ones, which are doing some of the calculus on what materials you get to try and come up with like values and stuff. It's not beginner friendly. It's not beginner friendly, but this is in essence what people have been doing in external spreadsheets, but I didn't want to do it in a spreadsheet. Yeah, it's not particular beginner friendly. And with Blizzard changing the ratios all the time, it's a bit of a nightmare, but you can only do what you can do. Let's cancel off some of these, because we can put these back on. They're clearly not selling at the price they're listed for. Right, let's sell some of these mats real fast then. Yeah, the baiting on... The biggest thing is avoiding these bait prices, because they really are the cancer of the... Like, there's part of me that wants to go hunting for these accounts. The people who are baiting, because you can see their character names, like this character on this server, right? There's part of me that wants to go hunt them down. Hunt them down and ban their ass. Not that I can ban them, but I want to report them for, like, being a dick. It's finding where they are, because you have to be in proximity of that character to right-click report them, which is so goddamn annoying. But I almost want to spend a day finding every single character that's doing bait auctions, create characters on their realms, figure out where they're located. Because they're clearly going to be on accounts, I would imagine, that are not long buoyed up. So, well, you know, they're probably not going to be accounts that are long buoyed up, because I reckon most of this is done in a relatively automated fashion. Which means the duration that those accounts last may not necessarily be very long. So I don't think they're going to be long buoyed up, but it's finding which auction house they're located at. But yeah, I don't know. We might go on a witch hunt at some point, but... we'll keep that Myco Bloomer. Well, no, we'll just throw it back in here. How are you doing, Jack? Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. I also haven't accounted for the random ass gems that spits out of this process occasionally, but you get so few of them, I haven't bothered figuring out the maths for them. I'm about to craft myself an artisan's blacksmithing hammer. What missive do I need to craft better rank stuff? What is your end goal thing that you're crafting most often? Are you filling work orders? Are you crafting alloys? What are you ultimately doing? If I put my brain into blacksmith mode very quickly, I would go as far as to say if you're crafting for others, resourcefulness is BIS, because nothing else matters. If you're crafting reagents, you want multi-craft on it. Personal stuff. So if you're crafting gear for yourself, you'll probably... Well, you're still crafting gear, so you ultimately probably want to save yourself as many materials as possible. Regarding the quality, it doesn't really matter. Just having the hammer in the first place is good enough. The plus skill you get on them is always the same. The missive doesn't change that. But putting resourcefulness on it is probably a wise move. If you're crafting gear for you or any other of your raider friends. But ultimately you'll probably want 2, I would guess. I'm now starting to make my second, if not even... I think my scribe now has 3 separate tools. Just so that they're optimal, whatever they're doing. But that's a level of min-max you might not be willing to go to. Resourcefulness is probably a safe bet if you're crafting gear, though. If you're spec'd into armor, you're spec'd into weapons, go resourcefulness. Keep the costs down. Just a big stack. Not that it makes a huge difference, actually. The beautiful sound of sails. I did set up a sniper on the second account to buy some of those items, but it's a lot of effort for relatively little gains. Yeah, the trick to the entire system is get your materials at the right price. Because I know categorically if I was able to spend a couple of hours setting up via TSM, if I can do it, there were thousands of other people that have already done it. Because I'm also not... I'm not the early bird in this situation. It's taken me a while to get this alchemist up to speed. There were people that have had a fully thaumaturgy spec'd alchemist for like a good few weeks now, if not more. So I suspect the market is already pretty flooded with people who know what they're doing. Oh my god, somebody reset the price on blasphemites. What the fuck? Alright, well, we'll take full advantage of that right now. Lol. Right, we should be getting some stuff coming through. You can transmute some of the materials again instead of selling them for a little bit more profit, since a handful of the materials are profitable. That is true. That is true. This is why... This is why those that fully understand exactly what they're doing and have very accurate numbers are probably winning. Blasphemite's popping off, holy. Also slap a resourcefulness enchant on the hammer. Yes, yeah, probably. Now, you did mention quality, so one thing I will point out is that if you're using concentration or you need to use concentration to, say, make things at quality 5, there is the argument to put an ingenuity enchant on it. But if you've got more concentration than you know what to do with, then just put resourcefulness on it. It's kind of 50-50 what you want to do there, really. Anyway, let's leave that selling its stuff. I want to go smash through a few other things quickly on some of my other characters before we come back to this. The concept for me is that now that I've got that set up, as and when I'm doing anything that isn't sort of hyper-focused on sitting and playing the game, I can have it hopefully churning through some materials, doing some stuff. But since it's reset day, it's worth having a little bit of a look, grabbing some of our quests, seeing if we can get the work order quests and stuff, getting the basic stuff done and dusted out of the way for the week. Have a little bit of a refresh to where we sit with our characters, progress made, and such. Some random ass work order stuff that we've clearly had not clearly hadn't bothered to pick up at the mailbox.
Walk with the Earthmother.
It is kind of weird now that there's so much emphasis on patron orders that it doesn't really feel like reset makes that big of a difference to crafters now. Because it's not like there's a bunch of stuff you can quickly go out and do. Sure, you can use your book and you can go farm some treasures if you're a glutton for punishment, but it's not like there's a huge amount you really feel like you do anymore, which is odd on a weekly basis. They've somehow managed to convert what was a weekly task list for professions and turn it into a daily task list, which I can't say I'm a fan of personally, because if you're not checking your patron orders literally daily, you are never going to get this number to a reasonable point. Guild order on a herbalist pack. I don't have that recipe, unfortunately. That's a shame. Craft queue. How many leatherwork? We need to do 3 leatherworking ones. Ew. We can do those 2 because they're cheap enough for me to not care about. I probably want to do this one, but I need materials for it. What do I need? Some Q2 of that stuff. Q2 of this. Times a couple. I don't know how many we need. We'll craft a few. There we go. That at least gets our weekly quest done. How are we looking on concentration, actually? Ah, awesome. I don't have to worry about concentration for a couple of days either. Let's get jewel crafting done. Do I have books? We should have jewel crafting and leatherworking books actually as well. Beautiful. Woohoo! A couple of winners. Don't usually get winners on a Wednesday. We'll take those. Question is, do I want to do any of these as well? Ah, fuck it. It's only 1,000 gold. Do them. Oh, I don't have mats to do them. What do I need? What am I missing? What are we missing? Some of the orders are too expensive though. Yeah, this is kind of why, unfortunately, you have to check shit every day. You have to check... Wait, hang on, what? Why wasn't it crafting that stuff? Why is Craft Sim having a complaint? What's going on here? What was the problem with those orders? Apparently nothing. It was having a heart attack with the tools for some reason. Yeah, you need to kind of check them every day, because the flicker orders, they turn up and they're gone by the next day. They never have more than a 24-hour timer on them by the looks of things. Meaning you kind of need to check every day so that you can get the cheap ones, which is mildly annoying. Oh my god, lag. Oh! We're on the hour, aren't we? And so everybody's doing the theatre event and it's killing the server.
The winds guide you. Winds be at your back.
Right, we've not managed to get far enough. In fact, do I need artisan security on this dude now? I think I'm max build on this dude. Like, max. I could do with upgrading my resourcefulness tool. We've only got a basic resourcefulness tool. We could definitely do with a multi-craft tool. I don't know why this isn't switching it now. We could do with a second tool for jewel crafting. Oh, okay. I have not picked up any of my rare profession gear for leatherworking yet. So that's like 900 artisan security, isn't it? So we're on the home stretch at least. Well, sort of, maybe, not really. We need 700 more. That's going to take a few weeks, isn't it? All the more reason for me to do my treasures. But we can cap that out now. You wanted to switch stream bots, right? Maybe have a look at streamer.bot. I asked Thorn, he highly recommends this one because of the integrations. A lot of hardware also works well with it, like the Elgato stuff. Yeah, I've had a little look at that and it looks quite good. I just need to spend an afternoon downloading it, installing it, configuring it, working out what I want to do and whether I can do what I want to do with it. But yeah, I've also seen that one sounds pretty good. I've seen it have a couple of strong recommendations. Where are we going to put points now? This tree is full. I never really got to the point where I was doing anything even remotely clever. We went and unlocked all of this gear for the theory of crafting the mail armor for my army of alts. But the reality is I'm not making gear on those alts because I've barely got them to level 80 yet, never mind looking at crafting gear for them. This is more of a future-proofing thing. And then we would kind of need to put points into the individual slots to be able to ever make them at quality 5 guaranteed anyway. Is that true for all of them? Bindings, breastplates, but we've got the rest of the points everywhere else though. So we're pretty optimal, other than we would still need presumably concentration to craft each one at top quality. We throw that in there. Do we have any of these at Q3? What are these? Chitin armor bandings. I can make the intermediate materials guaranteed somewhere else. Also for the content, have a look at Ko-Fi. It's Patreon, but better for the dollars. Yeah, I've noticed that Ko-Fi seems to have a more lucrative split. I don't really want to switch it up particularly unless it's like super beneficial. I don't use Patreon for half the features that Patreon offers. The reality is I use Patreon more because the Patreon bot that works with Discord is really quite good. It's all completely seamless and all automatic, which is what I really like. So people who it automatically assigns the correct roles very well. It's reliable. It doesn't break. The Patreon bot for Discord is very good. I would have to see. It would be a strong sell for me to switch off Patreon, to be honest, because their cuts are already pretty fair. But yes, this Ko-Fi system also looks very similar. It's only 3 points, so I'm not going to worry about it too much now. What we got with dual crafting? Oh yeah, we were stacking points in case I needed to go into rings for any later elemental lariat style reasons. Although technically, how many points is this entire tree? 30, 60, 90, 90, 130. If we can get to 130 points, we can just fill that out in one go. I'm probably never going to go into this tree on this character, because Ranthius, if we're going to do any prospecting, Ranthius can do it, because he's got this tree maxed. But if I don't need to go into rings or amulets at any point, I might put these points into just being better at gems. But there's an absolutely filthy amount of knowledge points that needs to go in here. What are these? 20 per? 20, 40, 60. 60, 120, 240 points still to fill this tree. Holy Lord have mercy. Patreon, you pay X% of the income, right? Ko-Fi, you only have a fixed monthly fee of $8. Patreon, I believe, is 10%. Patreon, I believe, is a flat 10%, but you're also responsible for paying the transaction fees. I'm quite sure Ko-Fi will make you pay the transaction fees as well. $8 and $12, is that what it is? I can't quite remember. I can't remember if I'm on the 8 or the 12% tier. I don't know. Actually, no, there's no transaction fees on Ko-Fi. They directly put any donation into the PayPal. Oh, okay. Might be worth investigating. You only pay the fee if you get Ko-Fi Premium, which gives you some more of the features. Interesting. Interesting. Based upon the fact that I don't particularly use many of the Patreon's bonus features, it might be something that's worth paying attention to then. I appreciate the heads up, boys and girls. Let's assume that we're done on this dude for now then. With no real concentration to burn just yet. That comes in a couple of days. So let's just blast out some of the weekly stuff, get that out of the way. Now let's talk OnlyFans. Yeah. Oh shit, my coffee. Guys got me distracted. Got me talking shop. Hang on, where's my dashboard gone? Coffee emergency. Yeah. Needing some coffee today. I'm going to play some WoW for, an hour or so this morning. But we got Warcraft Direct this evening, so we'll stream again this evening. Oh my god, look at the list of shit we got to do on this dude still. Let's go grab our weeklies. Anything in the mailbox? Any goodies? Oh, loads of goodies. I always forget. I do work orders periodically during the week, and I always forget to pick up the goodies from the mailbox.
How may I aid you?
Because I pretty much, I log the character on, I fill any work orders, and then I log them straight off and move on to the next. We're talking about Ko-Fi for 5 minutes and he forgets his coffee. We talk about OnlyFans for 2 seconds and he thinks about coffee. Look. Look. Alright, some free bonus points. We can press one of these buttons again. We've got plenty of these now. Why is there a 5-second cooldown on this? That doesn't make no sense. Boop. Okay, right. What we got going on here? Oh, wow. 4 out of 5 are winners. Holy. Must be Christmas. We only need 3 for the weekly anyway, but... Welcome in, Dub. Good morning. Can that one off. We ain't doing that one. Quick sanity check on tailoring whilst we're standing at the desk. Bolts. Bolts were only half stacked on. I'll do those another day. We're 848 concentration. Yeah, I never know where to spend it on tailoring because the options are not particularly fruitful either way. I've got 10 points here, which will help with weaving and unraveling. In fact, when we go hand in that quest, we'll have a few more. Right, we'll come back to tailoring in a minute. Let me go do my scribe weekly stuff, and then we'll hand them in. There's always freebie work orders. Always freebie work orders. 29 again. That happens more frequently than I'd like to admit. There should always be freebie orders. Oh, guild orders. Oh, I'll do some guild orders. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, this is an alt one. Good, 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 good. If you put notes for an alt, I'll allow it. Put in alts, okay. Get them gone quick, please, boys and girls. How many do we need? 2 for inscription? I can't believe there's no public ones, to be fair, but we'll do these. I've adjusted the blacksmithing buff from Mind a Week Aura to work with the engineering buff if anybody wants it as well. Oh, that's clever. What's the engineer buff? Oh, the invent buff. Is that the one? My engineers don't get much love, unfortunately, at the moment. I should dedicate some more time to them. 4 remaining orders. I'll take 500 gold commissions on these. Don't mind if I do. Oh, they got a multi-craft out of me. A big multi-craft out of me. That's massive, by the way. You get 1 of them, and that multi-craft of 6 is huge. That was well worth their 500 gold, you know. Bet they're going to be happy as pig in shit about that. Right, that should be the weekly tailoring and inscription stuff done. We clearly have a lot of room to move on inscription on this dude, but this character has and always will be tailor first. Let's see where that leaves us with knowledge points in the spec trees. We are at 435 artisan security on this dude. We should definitely look at spending that on something. We got 2 more points from there. Hang on, what's in the mailbox? Goodies in the mailbox, look. I told you this happens more often than I'd like to admit. You're like cucked by 1 point. 1 flipping point. Why was I putting points into that anyway? Weaving and unraveling. Oh, isn't that... that goes into bolts, doesn't it? Yeah, weaving and unraveling goes into the bolts. That's why I was doing it. Alright, fine. Thanks for that tailoring. In Scribbly Scribblers... Oh, we still haven't got our top tier tools for scribbly scribblers yet. So that's where this is going to go anyway. Right, there's our 1 point that we were cooked on there. Since we're doing this, I put points into ingenuity first, because the only real love this character gets is making Vantus runes once or twice a week at the moment. But that's why I haven't bothered to put points into resourcefulness yet. But maybe that is my next point of call. Yeah. Put 1 point in there so I know what we're doing next. A right-handed magnifying glass. Should we use our points to make one of those? Or do we save our points for knowledge points? Nah, let's get the tools in. Why have I not made a quill, actually? Why have I not made a top-tier quill? I only have 1 quill on this dude. Why did I get the novelist specs first? Why did I bother doing that? Why did I not get the quill first? There was probably a reason. Yeah, I don't know. If we do make a quill first, which quill do we need? Inscription's one of the few professions where having 3 quills is actually useful. Maybe that's why I didn't bother getting the quill first. I don't know. Let's leave that for another day. If in doubt, leave it for another day. Today is getting the weekly quests out of the way and getting the basic knowledge points. Right, let's have a look at blacksmithing. 8 pummel permits so far. All my pile of rusted scrap has been free. 8 pummel permits. That's a lot of rummaging. That's an awful lot of rummaging. Oh, actually, is there any applications to the guild? In you come, in you come.
What brings you here?
80,000 greased up gears. Holy. Holy. I mean, that's another adventure I should go into at some point, having a little bit of a look at that, figuring that out in more detail. I know it's already a saturated market, I'm sure, but I want to have good experience with every aspect of every profession, preferably. I want to make sure I can play with all of it and see all of it. Let's do enchanting first, because enchanting's dead easy, because there's not much to do.
Do you have a query?
Hand this in. What do you want this
Return
week?
if
You want
you wish
10
to
gleaming
speak
shards? Fuck me, that's going to get expensive this week. Probably shouldn't bother doing those, to be honest. Do both of those orders, though. I've been the one yapping about concentrate being better than frameworks over the past week, and I have to apologise for being wrong. There was an error in my calculation spreadsheet. Takes a strong person to admit they're wrong, but it's easily done. I've done the same before. Spreadsheets are only as good as the person that made them. I think our conclusion, though, for the most part, was that it's very, very close between the two either way. I think there's justifications for using both all the same. Not going to bother doing my disenchanting-y sort of stuff. We let that stack up a little bit. Do I have a book for enchanting? Let's do books. There's a lot of profits in engineering for sure, but it takes a lot of time. I must admit, every time I have gone and looked at engineering, I've been quite surprised with how many green numbers I see. I think it's mostly because it's the bastard child of professions. It's so often considered, oh, it's the profession that doesn't make any gold. It's often swept under the rug by most people, literally before it's even given much of a chance. And I also imagine that there's probably an awful lot of engineers out there because of its utility, but I secondly suspect that most of those engineers have absolutely no idea what they're doing with the profession anyway. So it's probably quite well represented as a profession, but it's probably highly underused. Unlike blacksmithing, where there's never any money in any of it anywhere. I need 3 orders. Alright, well, we'll can those off. Do we have everything we need? We do. Let's just press the button and eat the dirt on this one. Why would you do that? You should tell him he's wrong, even if he's right. That's because you're mean, Jack. You have an evil streak, my friend. Jack is joking, by the way. Don't listen to him.
You wish to speak? Ancestors watch over.
Alright, that's the basics there. 295. 295. 1 point away from doing anything useful. 1 point away from doing anything useful. I suspect my enchanter is probably Biss on this dude. No. Wait, what? Wait, hang on. Oh, it's because the tools are doing silly things. Have we had an update to this add-on? Or has something changed? Because now the weapons, the tool switching is not working properly. Let's have a little look, see if No Mats, No Makers had an update. Narcissus has had an update, apparently. TV's off, by the way. Thanks, Jack. I hadn't noticed. There's no need to apologise. It always invokes good discussions, and if nothing else, it made you double check and made you think. So it was a worthwhile conversation. And like I said, it takes a strong person to admit that they were wrong. Much stronger than you could have said nothing. So fair play. Appreciate it. Oh, hang on. We didn't grab the goodies out of here for starters. Right, I don't think we're... Yeah, I don't know why it's not swapping out the tools automatically. Oh, okay, yeah, I know why. Because it's a full ingenuity tool. It will only switch to that tool if I press this button, for example. When that button isn't pressed, it'll switch back to the resourcefulness tool. Matthew, how are you going to stream direct? Just pull up the browser or some streaming magic? Yeah, I'll probably just pull up a browser. There's nothing else particularly magical. If you're thinking about the drops, though, you'll still get the drops by watching my channel. So if you vicariously watch it through here, you'll still get the drops. Drops will be on. And you'll get, obviously, live reacts. Okay. Questionably need to make a non-ingenuity ruined bismuth rod at some point, but it's not hyper priority. Probably a greater priority to make sure I've got all my blacksmithing tools in order first. Yeah, we're still missing a couple of blacksmithing items here, so getting those done first. So we'll look at getting a steelsmith's apron and a blacksmithing toolbox. That's going to be 600 artisan security. If we can get these made, that's our next priority for blacksmithing. Then once we've got all our tools at least at rare for everybody, then we can start looking at optimizing and building second ones for when we're doing more min-maxy stuff. And maybe some of the artisan security can go towards getting some of these last bits and bobs up here as well. For now, let's fill that one out. Oh god, now I have to make a decision. On the basis that this blacksmith does pretty much nothing other than craft. Does pretty much nothing other than craft alloys using concentration. I feel that it's probably smart to max multi-craft first, because whenever you can multi-craft, it's a win. And then we'll do... Yeah, we'll go through this way. We'll go clockwise on this, I reckon. 20, 40, 60 points. This is where going and getting some of these would help as well. This blacksmith is a little bit behind because it's didn't have no shuffle. I'll be lurking. Starts at 7:45 our time. Apparently a weird time. Joined us for the pre-show. Yeah, I'll probably throw the stream up again at like 7 local time, a little bit early, just so people can turn up, and we'll be playing some WoW in the background whilst we wait anyway. Enchanting wise, do we need to put any points anywhere? I think not. I once again have been... Oh, okay, I put points down here and still have a bunch in the bank. Yeah, we did our rod making business, didn't we? We can now make these at Q5, I think. Guaranteed. If I had any gleaming shards at Q3, which I don't. Why do I not have any gleaming shards at Q3? Fix that. Ha! I got 1,500 gold on this character. Okay, that's a problem. Please hold. The main Manthius character has like no gold. Write that wrong real fast. Holy. Yeah, Q5 guaranteed. That's what I wanted. That's interesting. It's showing Q5 guaranteed without having the top tier rod. Is that a thing? Oh shit. Whoops. Put you back in there. Oh! Oh, I never realised that. You can get away with not actually having one of your bits of gear to make these at top quality. Nice. Alright. Is this dude done? This dude's mostly done. 335 I feel as if I should spend on something. Maybe one of these steelsmith aprons. Leatherworkers make these, don't they? Steelsmith apron. Let's get that sorted.
I have calibrated my prices to be reasonable.
Professional equipment. Blacksmithing, accessories, Earthen Forge Master's apron. That's the one. What do we need for this then?
Return
Grab some
and
mats.
peruse my
If there's a leatherworking guildie online that's got this recipe, get ready for an order. Hello? Oh my god, it's lagging. The zone is lagging hard right now.
My directive is to serve you.
Where's it gone? Professional equipment, blacksmithing, accessories, that one. Max, guild order, Q5. Go. Somebody will get to that.
My directive has
Beautiful.
been fulfilled.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Getting there. Missive plus difference plus diff. I've missed that. That's gone right over my head. Welcome in this morning though, by the way. Or if I'm right in believing, Team Australia, so probably good evening. Or show off the new base. A bit of a base tour. Oh, what, over in Factorio? Nothing's changed. I've not played Factorio for like a week now. Literally nothing's changed. You want a base tour all the same? I've not left Nalvis. I'm still on planet 1. Right. This dude... Oh, yeah, we were doing some thaumaturgy on this fella earlier, weren't we? Are you sick? Are you okay? Yeah, IRL has been a bit busy the last week or so. Meaning I've had time to do some World of Warcrafts, but I've not had any extracurricular activity.
May the eternal
Time, really.
shine.
This time of the year gets busy. I must admit, I am super duper mega happy that there isn't an expansion launch landing like right here, right now. It was kind of quite nice to have a summer expansion launch, to be honest. Because it's meant that I can take things a little bit slower. Satisfactory is adding more content. Are they really? Are they building on their 1.0? I've not even played Satisfactory 1.0 yet. I've not experienced the story in Satisfactory yet. No spoilers if you've played it, by the way. I will get to that. It's another one I'll get to. Luckily for me, Satisfactory is something I can throw 40 to 60 hours at and then be content that I've mostly done it. Factorio, I can't do that. Factorio grabs me and grabs me hard, and it's 200 hours of my life down the drain every time. But Satisfactory, I feel, is something we can probably bang out in a week if we wanted to. Do I want to use concentration on filling work orders on this dude? Technically now I don't, because I'm in essence full build for this alchemist, so this is just bonus fodder. These are just bonus points that will build me into other things. I need 2 orders for alchemy. As far as alchemy is concerned, actually, these are pretty cheap orders. Do they offer anything good? One knowledge point, 10 artisan security, 1 knowledge point. Okay, none of those actually. Ah, screw it, just do it. What's the point of that? What's the point of having millions of gold if you don't spend it? I also need to get into the habit of going down here and pressing buttons occasionally. I've got some first-time craft bonuses on these. Oh, I've still got a cooldown on these. Whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, my next 6 days, my next 6 daily transmutes can go into these because we get a first-time craft bonus out of all of these. I did actually finish leveling this alchemist as well yesterday. Finished leveling it, unlocking all of the recipes. It cost me substantially more gold than I would have liked it to, but it was worth. Do we have books? Where's my book? Oh, I've got 1 alchemy book. Oh dear. 1 alchemy book. And I don't have an engineering book. But oh no, I do. I have 1 engineer. Okay, let's go order some more books. That's a high priority. Oh my lord, for anybody that's proactive with thaumaturgy, by the way, these flipping pets are going to be the bane of your life, I reckon, right? No wonder these pets are 99 silver apiece. Flipping writhing transmutagens that pops up in your inventory, spamming your inventory every once in a while. I only did an hour or 2 of thaumaturgy and ended up with 5 of the damn things.
I have an extended supply of goods for outlanders.
Right, engineering book. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then alchemy books. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
My thanks for your
That'll fix the book
patronage.
situation. Did we finish our 2 quests? I think we did.
How may I aid you?
Oh no, wait, hang on.
Winds
Oh, we
be
haven't
at
done
your
engineering
back.
at all. Ha! See? I told you, engineering always gets left behind. I always forget. Poor engineering. Never gets any love. A week? What kind of gamer are you? $40 hours can be done in a week in regards to like purely on stream. I think last time we played Satisfactory, I think we did it in about a week to 10 days. It didn't take us too long. How many orders we need? At least 2. Well, we win on one and we lose on another. That's cheap enough to do anyway. What are these giving us? Knowledge points, 2 knowledge points. Alright, we'll do those as well. They're cheap enough to finish it. Well, it depends how... last time I played it, I don't think I technically finished it within that 40 hours. I got to the point where I realised that if I just AFK'd, it would take me 80 hours to craft the remaining stuff and finish it. Which, in essence, means that I'd built everything. It just, you know, just needed to churn for a while. It means if I did another playthrough, another run of it, I would then know to build a little bit bigger scale from the word go in order to functionally finish the game in a reasonable amount of time. 10 long days of me watching something that pulls a string on my brain, but I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. The factory sim games, I think, see, this is the thing for me, right? I tend to believe there is quite a crossover between the communities. I think the goblin brain and the factory sim brain are very similar. I don't think the two genres are miles apart. Let's put it that way. What's this? Oh, random asset. Engineering quest. Turn that in.
Ah, I've been expecting you.
Right, that I think is the main weekly activities, short of doing treasures. Which I'm not wasting time flying around picking up treasures today. I refuse. What did that get us? 240 artisan security. That's not enough to do anything with, but do we have some knowledge points to spend? Okay, we can finish that one eventually. And then probably put some points in parts. Alchemy, we can build out our transmutation tree. We're maxed everywhere else. I've got 50 points in alchemical mastery already, so I don't mind putting points in here now. For the daily button press. We'll eventually move into these, but I don't know. It's going to be a long grind on alchemy, I think. We've got the old expansion to do it, though. Are we done for this character for now? I think we are. I think we're mostly done. Should we do a quick auction house scan? See if any... I don't technically want to start another thaumaturgy session, but if we're... what have we sold? Oh, we sold some stuff at least, though. Most of those materials we ran through the mill earlier. Done a good job of selling 2/3 of it at least already without any effort. Quick shopping scan, see if there's anything that's turned up like en masse that we might want to snag. Run it through the mill later. Optimization is a drug. I think that's probably it, you know. That sort of tinkering and making things that little bit more efficient is kind of core to the goblin brain, I think. 6k at 105%. Might be able to do better than that later on. Bonk at 108% on Microbloom. Gloom Chitin, 107%. We can go to about 120% and still make profit, technically, because I haven't accounted for resourcefulness in my calculations, but... Blessing Blossom, 106%, but not in any great quantities. Microbloom Q3, oh, that's a bait price. Iron Claw, no, too expensive today. Too expensive today. 107% if we want to do any Microbloom in any vast quantities. Yeah, that doesn't look like much we can run through the mill right now. Though Gloom Chitin, woo, that's not bad. That's not bad. That'd keep us busy for a while. That'd keep us busy for a while. Oh my god, that'd keep us busy for a while. That'd keep us busy for a while. Maybe we'll let that stack up, you know. I don't know. Now I've said it, somebody will come in and hoover it up. We'll come back to that later. I don't want to AFK sit here doing thaumaturgy all day. Let's get some weeklies out of the way. What do we think is going to turn up in Warcraft Direct, though? My wish list is pretty simple. I'm not expecting anything particularly fancy. I do have the concern that Blizzard are hyping it more than they, you know, I'm pretty sure a roadmap is basically the bare minimum for me. I'm not expecting like release dates or big announcements particularly. I just want there to be like, this is what we're going to do in 2025. Now this is kind of selfishly from a content creator perspective. A bank Bruto? What, another one? Can I have another $90 please? I'd kind of be happy with a roadmap just so I can plan 2025, really. If I know that we're getting this at this point, this at this point, this at this point, I don't need to know the ins and outs of it. I just need to know roughly when things are happening. And then I can plan my next 12 months around it. That's kind of really all I want. Oh, hang on, let's grab this first.
The coreway must be protected. The Titans will return. Be ready.
That's going to get expensive doing that quest this week, actually. I might not bother. I mean, it would be crazy if we got the next, you know... The only thing I think that might turn up is an indication to whether this expansion is going to be a 2-year long expansion or an 18-month expansion or even a 12-month expansion. Like, I think we'll get a bit more of an indication of how long this expansion is going to last. Because if we do get a roadmap, there's a strong chance that said roadmap will have, you know, midnight alpha or, you know, wrote on it somewhere. Hang on, what am I missing? Oh my god, I'm actually out of mats. I'm out of enchanting mats. Has this dude got some gold? He has. All the auction house connected. I think that's a very specific feature that I don't think we'd get at something like Warcraft Direct, but I'm also not totally convinced anymore that they're going to do that. I think it was kind of on their list of things to do, but now that they've got warbanks, I'm not totally convinced they're going to bother. What are these price-wise right now? These are still trending downwards in value, so maybe I'll buy enough to keep me going for a while, but not splurge on them. Please no more auction house connections. I'm flipping on multiple servers again. Oh, really? Okay. With 0.1 not coming till at least late January, I doubt it's going to be a 12-month expansion. Well, yeah, exactly. But like the theory for me is at least they might have, you know, midnight alpha on the roadmap somewhere, and you can always pretty accurately guess what's going to happen and when it's going to happen by when you start getting the test phases for the new stuff. Three raids per expansion now. Well, I mean, that's pretty much been the default for a couple of expansions now, hasn't it? You know, from COVID claiming our final patch of BFA to, yeah, I'm pretty convinced that that's just the default these days. I don't have enchanting books on this fella. Maybe I don't care that much. No, I don't need enchanting books on this fella. Yeah, let's not look at that. I think if Blizzard tries and pulls this fated season again, I think it's gonna. I think we're now at the point where they're gonna start getting some real backlash for doing this. I think it was novel to begin with, and I think people accepted it for an expansion or two. But now I think people are just assuming that it's pretty lazy, and that they'd rather not have a fated season. I think that people see through the thin veil that is a fated season now as just another engagement thing to keep people busy. I think it was needed. See, this is my thing, right? I think with Blizzard switching into this like 8-week patch cadence, there's clearly going to be an overlap period, right? There's clearly a period of time where it's going to take them. They need some gap filler content. They needed, you know, to stretch. They needed to stretch things out a little bit so that they could be busy bees behind the scenes, to like push into that new, faster content release cadence. But I equally don't feel the need to have like a fast patch cadence for half the expansion and then filler content for 6 months. Just pace things out a little bit. Like this is what I don't understand. Like why are they trying to push for new content, 8 weeks cadence, go, and then at the end of it in expansion, like gap filler. It's like, just spread it out a little bit more. just like, we don't need the gap filler. Don't make us go back and do the same raids again. Like, we've already done this. Most people have already done this. Most people are not looking to do it again. That's why I think the saving grace was that we had Remix. If we didn't have Remix last expansion, I think it would have really hurt the player base generally to have not had it. Remix is what kept people busy, because the last season of Dragonflight was, I don't think, very well received. But I see most of this from afar rather than, you know, being in the trenches, because I don't do much of that endgame content anyway, but which is why my opinion doesn't hold much weight. But do I go 20s on each of these, or do I just push them all to 30 to begin with? Maybe just push them all to 30. Get good at making something. Good at making something first, and then we can move on. Oh, I'd put points in Wondrous Weapons on this dude for some reason. Maybe I did that prior to picking up the Authority of the Depths recipe. Probably. We're pointed up here. Okay, that dude's just chilling. We need to put some of these mats in the war bank, actually. Make a bingo card. We'll probably do that this evening. We'll do that this evening before the event starts. I think the war bank is basically a plaster for them to be, for the inability to connect all of the auction houses completely. I kind of half agree. I think one of the biggest problems they have is with individual items. The user interface, and probably behind the scenes, the coding of the auction house isn't really designed to have tens of thousands of individual listings for individual items. And I don't think Blizzard have figured out a way to neatly and in an organized way make the auction house functionable with that much going on in it. Reagents, consumables, because they can stack them all and they have a completely different interface for commodity items, means that they could scale that across the entire region and it works. I don't think they can come up with a usable solution for things like gear. I just don't think they, without redesigning a huge amount of it, I don't think they have a proper way of displaying it and making it usable. And more importantly, I think the server load that would be caused by tens of thousands of individual listings would just nuke it into the ground. Look at what happens, you know, expansion launches with the auction house even today. We had literally 10 days of like almost complete downtime where the auction house just didn't work at the beginning of this expansion. Let's not forget that. So they still can't quite keep even the commodities running smoothly. It's much better now, But I think if you were to have, you know, I think they kind of need to keep your gear, your tools, your more individual items separated per realm. And the Warbank, yeah, is kind of that band-aid to, if you want to go shop on another server, you technically can, but it's probably the solution we'll have to live with for a while, I reckon. Where's best to put points in? Went down the shaping route, but not really seeing any benefit yet. Plus with Shaman getting stats priority change, I've got dead points in Emerald. Well, the one thing I would state is that make sure you're being vigilant with your concentration. Jewel crafting has money to be made permanently with jewel crafting. There is no wrong spec with jewel crafting. You can consistently be using concentration to make gold. If this bar, if your concentration is ever capped at 1,000, you're losing gold. Your emeralds, you don't need to use them yourself. Put some Q2 mats in. Use your concentration to make it at quality 3, and that will nearly always be profitable for you. Sure, it's not going to make you huge amounts, but it's that's the way the game works now. Everybody gets a small amount to do. If you're looking to mass produce something, mass crafting stuff is not easy right now. You need to be really bleeding edge with your professions to be able to mass craft and sell stuff these days, which is usually left to the lifelong goblins. It's probably not got too much to do with the players. Keep getting 60-hour plus week. Keep getting 60-hour plus weeks out of your team, whilst only paying them for 38 hours. Yeah, well, that's going to be problematic. You can't live in crunch like permanently. That is one way to. If you burn your developers out, you've got quite a big problem. Yeah. Oh. It clearly couldn't see the work orders. There we go. How many do we need to do? 2? Rubies get to go on the list. Ruby. Deadly Ruby. This is why I think a lot of what we're seeing with WoW now, they've kind of got this 8-week patch cadence thing. They're achieving their primary goal of releasing something every 8 weeks, but what they're not achieving is releasing something good every 8 weeks. It's average at best right now. Average in terms of the fact that it's often very, very buggy, meaning the quality assurance aspect of this content is not got sufficient time to be thoroughly tested, clearly. So although they can produce the content, they're spitting out like garbage at the moment, but now that they know they can do it. But of course, if it is putting their devs in like permanent crunch mode, that's not sustainable for very long, so they probably need to grow the team to be able to do it efficiently. So these are all of the business type of things that go on behind the scenes now. The business side of making a video game. I would imagine it's, you know, now that they've seen that they can do it, now they need to figure out how to make it consistent. Three orders for blacksmithing? Oh my god, that's gross. They're expensive. I should, in theory, just wait for a cheaper one later on in the week, but there's part of me that just wants to get the get them done now. Even if it costs me a bit. No, that one. Oh my god, look at the goodies. Look at the goodies. Let's go hand in those quests, actually.
How may I aid you? Ancestors watch over you.
Alright, there's a little influx of goodies. Points. Sapphires or ruby onyxes? I don't think it matters really. Put 4 points in there. Blacksmithing. We're full over here. We are also full over here. 21 points. Cap out frameworks. Cap out tool enhancements. Weapon stones, trade accessories. I could cap out one of these if I wanted to. This is work ordery stuff. This is work ordery stuff. The reality is my concentration is only ever thrown into alloys anyway on this dude. So I wonder if. I don't know. Stun locked. Stun locked where to spend the points on this one. Nowhere where I'm going to spend the points am I instantly going to turn into, like, gold. So it's almost kind of worth sitting on them until something does turn up. You know, if all of a sudden I want to, I don't know, if every man and their dog all of a sudden needs, like, a two-handed sword or something crafted, being able to dump points in quickly is a nice solution to have. So maybe we leave those as they are. Right, I think that dude's kind of done then. They might announce the new Plunder Storm that probably nobody who isn't watching Mr. GM actually knows about. Maybe. Maybe. See, this is the thing. I kind of loosely forget what is widely covered by content creators and what is actually widely known information. I'm assuming the fact that Plunder Storm coming back. Have we had anything official blog posty from Blizzard about that yet? I mean, I know most content creators only get their information via, like, blue posts and stuff, but we're more the ones that are meant to,
and be
or in
heard.
theory at least, are meant to be keeping up to date with this sort of stuff.
Later.
I'm really hardcore slacking on that aspect of the aspect of it, though. I have this multitasking problem, which is that when I'm heavily engrossed in actually playing the game, I'm almost blind to whatever else is happening around me. Which when then people turn around and go, do you know anything about this? And my answer is no, it makes me look like a fool. God, they're both crappy. There's no actual need to do those particularly. Okay, we'll do those. We only need 2 of those, luckily. My brother-in-law, who doesn't watch any streams or read any official forums or even Reddit, has no clue at all what is going on, and even less what's happening in the future. Yeah, I kind of I've wondered this over the years. This is why I think Blizzard putting the emphasis more on content creators to do their marketing for them is a nice, effective cost saving for Blizzard. But I also feel that they don't really do enough themselves. Like, it still blows my mind that you can log into the game and there's not a massive, great big pop-up or something to indicate to you when news happens. Like, you can press escape and you can hit the what's new button, but they literally make one of these splash screens once every, like, 8 to 10 weeks. Why is there not a new version of this, like, every week? That you can click on and it links you to what's new, what's coming, you know. I know pop-ups cause people to, like, insta-click off them, but this pops up once the first time you log in after a new patch, and then you never see it again. And I do kind of think, unless you are heavily engrossed in the social media aspect of this game, you probably have no clue what's going on ever. I don't think it's great that Blizzard puts quite so much emphasis on people having to dig through third-party websites and watch live streams or YouTube videos to get the lowdown on what's going on in the game. I think there should be a significantly better effort by Blizzard themselves to integrate that into the game. I check Wowhead during breakfast, the daily dose of WoW news. Honestly, it's what I do, but I also know there's a lot of other people that don't, right? If you don't get your daily dose of Wowhead, then you can very quickly and easily miss out on the goings-on in the game. The calendar system in the game is 20 years old at this point. I think this could do with a bit of modernization to it. Yeah, I think there's it definitely feels like there's some stuff that they could do to improve the general player base's understanding of what the hell's going on ever. Only 200 artisan security, so not really much to spend in that regard. We are 4 points away from capping that out, which is nice. So that's now sapphires are good on this dude. Let's favourite the ones that they're pro in. Rubies and sapphires so far. Full tools. Okay, this dude's good. Calendar, chat, frames. Yeah, there are definitely some aspects that are starting to show their age. When you've got features and functionality in the game that have fundamentally not changed in 20 years, it's maybe worth reevaluating if they could do it better. This is the thing, right? There's obviously a balance here. And this is what I kind of worry about when they sort of try to push this 8 weeks. There should be new content kind of thing. Is what I really hope at the same time isn't lost is that tender loving care over what's already existing and modernizing features in the game and that sort of stuff. Making sure that everything is moving forward. Not just here's some new stuff, here's some new stuff, here's some new stuff. Oh, that shit's old. We're never going to get to that anymore. I'm sure it's a bit of a logistical nightmare, honestly, but... I also am led to believe that Blizzard's dev team is the biggest it's ever been, so...
How may I aid you?
Hopefully the manpower at least is there. But from anybody that's worked with it in any form of management position will understand that just having enough pairs of hands is often not enough. It's making sure that those hands are doing the right thing at the right time that's the skill. Let's go have a look at alchemy on this dude. This is my flask crafting character. There's part of me that wants to roll another proper alchemist, because I've only got 2 alchemists. I've got one that's spec'd into thaumaturgy, one that's spec'd into flasks, but I've got nobody that's any good at making potions. Now, of course, both of these characters, given enough time, will get good at making potions as well, but I mean, the time to roll a third alchemist is long gone, I guess, but in fact, all of these orders are cheap enough to definitely get them done. What are we missing on this? Do. There's our work orders done. Check jewel crafting next door. Oh, what was that? Oh, don't have the recipe. Shame. Craft queue. 2 orders needed. Wow, they're all pretty gross. Alright, we win on one and we lose on the other. But it gets the weekly done and out of the way. Specialization, jewel crafting rings. Yeah, I'd have to spec deep into that to take that order. Not worth. Shame. I have a feeling they're going to announce a Classic Fresh and that it's coming to Xbox for the anniversary. Coming to Xbox. That would be Classic Fresh on Xbox. That would be a big announcement. I would agree with you on that one. That would be some big news.
The winds guide you. May the eternal sun shine upon you.
I think that would be the right way to integrate onto console, though. Because you could have Classic Fresh, and you could have, like, an add-on restriction, even. Which would then facilitate it being suitable for console. Which would be a twist. I'm sure that would rub some people up the wrong way. WoW comes to mobile. That's maybe a stretch too far, but having it move to Xbox, I don't think would be the end of the world. Missing a jewel crafting book. I don't think I have jewel crafting books. Jewel crafting is a secondary profession, so I never bothered with books, I don't think. Let's put some mats in the war bank real quick, because we seem to have more mats on hand than I would like. Get those in there. My inventory's gross on this dude. We do have 370 artisan security though. That's enough to do summon with it. What's the summon we might need to do on this dude? Alchemy Prio. Oh shit, I looked at this the other day, didn't I? It annoys me that these are Q4. But I also vaguely remember upgrading them to Q5 was like stupid money. Which is why I maybe didn't do it. A second mixing rod could be on the cards for alchemy here. For when we do... In fact, we're never going to need a second rod, are we? Since the since multicraft is still BIS even when using concentration, because you can never get ingenuity above 50%, so it's basically 50% nerfed. Might actually only ever really need the one rod. A second fully resourcefulness one for doing work orders, maybe. It's an optimization, I guess, a use of the artisan security. Can we not pump it into jewel crafting anywhere? No, we're 100 plus 40 build on jewel crafting as well. Wow, okay, we actually don't really need artisan security here. Maybe getting the alchemy stone just because. Maybe getting that just because. That's a plot twist. Nowhere to spend the artisan security. Okay, we can give that a little bit more thought when it happens. Ah, a wild wife appears. Give me 2 minutes, boys and girls. I'll be back in a second. Alrighty. Oh, I've turned up and Twitch is playing ads. What incredible timing. Haven't done a craft sim tutorial yet, and I've just missed it. No, it's been on my cards to do for a while. Weirdly, craft sim keeps getting updates. Every time I think I understand craft sim enough to put a video together about it, something new turns up. But what I might do is put, rather than fixating on a craft sim tutorial, do like what my daily routine looks like. It might be a slightly longer video, but it'll give me an opportunity to talk about a couple of different add-ons. Maybe not full in-depth guides on what those add-ons have to do, but ways in which I personally use them and how they impact my day-to-day tasks. And that said, I'm still pretty sure there's some stuff with I'm convinced there's stuff with craft sim that I could and should be using, but I'm not. Right, what are we doing on this dude though? Was this did I do everything on this character? It looks like I have done everything on this character. Are we ready to actually move on to another character? I think we are, aren't we? Yeah, I think we just finished this dude. 13 points to spend in jewel crafting. That's an interesting twist. Alright, we'll come to that another day. Right, next character. They could do what New World did, where you can choose cross-platform servers or Xbox-only servers. Yeah, I know there's some pure PC purists that are against World of Warcraft moving to console. But, truth be told, I think it's absolutely perfectly suited. There is enough of a mid-core and casual player base that converting it to work on console would not be terrible. It would absolutely bring a huge influx of players. There's no question about it. The difficulty is that World of Warcraft relies so heavily on add-ons. You'd pretty much have to have a raw dog un-add-oned version of the game for those console players, which is difficult. I don't know how you'd navigate the add-on situation on console. Much like, what's it, GeForce Now, the like, you know, you rent a PC sort of situation, doesn't really support add-ons particularly very well, which is fundamentally one of the reasons why it's probably not used all that much. They'd have to figure that out, but...
I've been expecting...
I'm of the mindset that the more people playing the game, the better the game is, full stop. The only thing that I would say would be a negative of introducing more players to the game is that if they ever made WoW free to play, I personally think the second WoW goes free to play, it dies, because it'll just be they already have a bot problem, right? The only reason they can keep bots in any sort of order whatsoever is because there's a cost implication to doing it.
Foundation.
I think if they remove that cost implication,
May the Titans
make the game free to play, that becomes a problem. But I don't think we're in any risk of that happening, honestly. Oh, I was instinctively going from enchanting to jewel crafting then, and this dude isn't a jewel crafter, he's a leather worker. Whoops. Cool. You have got yourself a bargain there, my friend. Oh, I couldn't proc resourcefulness on any of those, though, could I? Hot diggity. Hot diggity damn. Right, well, there's my 3 orders at least. Do I want to do that one anyway? Ah, we'll do the cheap ones. I want my gatherer to get some high quality materials. What should I go for when crafting new tools? Just blue. Just rare ones is fine, because the skill is universal across them. Just having the blue tools is better than not having the blue tools. It's often considered that finesse is better for herbalism and perception is better for mining.
Ancestors watch
But
over
I'm also a little bit out of the loop when it comes to gathering particularly. Mostly because mining is often about getting as many null stones as you can. That's where you make your profit with mining particularly. Whereas herbalism, you just want as many herbs as you can get your hands on, really, because the null lotus isn't super valuable. With null stone prices being way lower now, finesse is also pretty good for mining. Well, there we go. There we go. The only one you don't really care about particularly is deafness, because that's just a speed of you picking up the herb, which if you can do it whilst mounted doesn't make too much of a difference anyway. It's your lowest priority stat, I believe. But like I said, this is mostly second-hand information. My gatherer's doing alright, but I've not played it for a while. I'm not overly fond of running around picking up herbs and all generally. What do we need here? Short of doing... Let's go spend some points. Any points to spend? Full over here. 55 points. I wonder if I should just cap that anyway. No, that's fine there. Leatherworking. We were putting points in here. Have some points. What's that? Concentration. Okay. Oh, but that tree's full. Nice. That's about it on that dude. Nice. Move on. Where's my scribe? Where's Bezo Bucks? Is he next? Oh, he's next. He's got some work orders to fill. Inscription predominantly with a backup of enchanting on this dude.
You wish to speak? May the eternal sun shine.
What have we got in the mailbox? Oh, goodies. Yoink. Let's go do inscription first. Holy, look at that list. Hang on, I got guild orders on the go. I should do guild orders first. Let me get to my personal ones. Let me bang these out real fast. One silver guild orders in your mats. Where the guild orders are concerned, I've stated that people can do this as long as they put the note in there that it's for an alt to fill it. I also expect people to then log on to that alt and fill these relatively quickly. Mostly because there are people that play on different servers and they use the guild to facilitate the orders that way. But yeah, it's a rock and a hard place situation for me. I don't want the guild orders screen to be flooded with these orders because they're frustrating for everybody that sees them. Secondly, though, I don't want to tell people that they're not allowed to do it because it's a very useful feature so that your alts can fill orders across different realms, but Tinderbox prices are high right now. What are they up to now? Have they hit 2k yet? I've not looked at them for a few days, but they have been on the rise consistently. Clear indication that nobody's doing flipping delves anymore. Which honestly doesn't surprise me. But I've also heard, not that this is, once again, this is second-hand information because I don't really do much of it myself, but I've heard so many people are getting pissed off with Mythic Plus this season that they're just relying on delves to gear up their alts. And people are not even bothering trying to join groups if they're doing like pug groups, which is wild. Actually wild. What are we missing on these? That one ain't never happening anyway. They're above 2k now. Oof! Yeah, they're going up. They're going up. That's a strong indication of a reset price there. Yeah, they're going up. Simple science of that people are just not doing delves anymore. But there's some big chunky numbers of them here. People are speculating again. People have got their speculation brains on. There's no way you'd be posting 3,000 of them at 4,500 gold a piece unless you are suspecting them going up even higher. People are buying them now and they're just, you know, playing the waiting game. If you're sat on 20 million gold, there's almost no risk right now. We got the 20th anniversary that drops some good gear for alts, so the delves are useless. Is that what we think? Potentially, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the logistics of it, but all I know is that even as a relatively casual player, I'm not that interested in doing delves anymore.
I've been expecting.
And that is with me still technically only being halfway through the delve journey. Where's the Ooh, I've nearly finished this as well. Yeah, I'm still technically only like halfway through the journey. Where's the button I'm looking to press? Yeah, I'm still technically not finished here even, but I can absolutely guarantee that even those that really wanted to get this finished, by the time they've finished it, they're probably not getting any gear on their main character at least. They're using it just purely for alts or, you know, all the things. And delves are always going to have that replayability issue. that it's nice that there's plenty of different stories. And everybody, I think, should experience each of the stories once. And you probably did that for the meta achievement. But the replayability of them is not that strong. Oh, yeah, I know why I was putting points in here now. I was putting points in here so that I can actually go in this direction. This is the direction I actually wanted to go in. Scribes, quill, alchemist mixing rods, or chef's rolling pins. Which one do I want to unlock first? Isn't the bait with these that it doesn't make a blind bit? Yeah, I remember Inscription. This is a bit of a bait because the specking into it doesn't teach you the recipe. You actually have to go out and buy the recipe. All this, even still, I forgot about that. I forgot Inscription gets screwed in that regard. Oh yeah, you can be really good at crafting this thing. Oh yeah, by the way, you got to go buy the recipe. Where are they? Yeah. No, wait, hang on. Careful carvings, polished production. Wait, do you now learn it? No. Where's the alchemy mixing rod thing? Oh, well, I've learned this somehow. Maybe I did. What? Alright, well, if I have the recipe for that one already. Ah, yeah, the mixing rod dropped from Delves, didn't it? Which is why it was very, very cheap. Yeah, I remember. Well, if I've learnt that one already, we'll just claim that one. What? What? How did I gain the... Oh, upon unlocking this one, you learn the Silver Tongues Quill. Ah, okay. Right, now I'm with... they must have changed that then. There was a point where all three of these were on a vendor. Alright, well there's another... There's another something something. Okay. I still can't believe I'm 81 points behind on this scribe. 81 knowledge points behind the curve on this scribe. And this is a scribe that I've actually put time and effort into since day one of the expansion. And this character even shuffled. That's wild that I'm that far behind. That's actually disgusting. The game's the game. Let's go to... I don't even want to do that quest. That's like 10 flipping gleaming shards. It's not worth doing. Not for 3 knowledge points. Alright, next dude. Sydney sausage. On 3 characters I shuffled, I did the mistake of buying the same recipe. 300 artisan security wasted. I was really cautious about buying those recipes at the beginning. I still, to this day, haven't really bought many of them that require artisan security. I'm sure I've missed out on potential sales because of it, but... Oh, hang on. Didn't go get the quests.
The winds guide you. Walk with the Earth Mother.
This dude's a tailor by trade. Let's see what he's got to say for tailoring. Tailoring orders done. Bolts, not. Ooh, we're getting close to having to actually do Duskweed bolts. I might need to do some bolts on this dude right now. Are we, in theory, at a point on this dude where I can produce these at top quality? I can. The question is do I want to? Why the hell not? Why not? I need more exquisite bolts at Q3, though, before we do that. So we need some top tier bolts over here. Brain, do tailor things. Some quick hands probably wouldn't go amiss, but other than that, I don't need to worry about anything else. They're too cheap to min-max anywhere else on. Couple of big juicy multi-crafts in there, thank you very much. I don't need to craft many of these, just enough to do the bolts, I reckon. We'll make like 50 or something. Is it only, I think it's only, is it 2 per bolt? 2 per bolt? I can't remember. We'll sell the bonus ones. It's almost like once boring content stops giving meaningful rewards, people stop doing it. It's crazy, right? Who would have thought? Yeah, it's wild, that. It's wild once there's no carrot, people don't chase after something. Cash money in these, look, by the way. Cash monies. 22 times 2, bit of multi-craft on the go up here. The fact that that's only a quality 4 tool annoys me. Alright, well, we'll worry about that another day. Come on, multi-craft, give me some big juicy procs. There's a +6, we'll take that. Oh, a +9, hello. Couple of 3s and 4s. I need some more 9s. We'll take a 5. Do I detect a bit of sarcasm? Was your sarcasm radar going off? Really? There we go. We'll finish it on a multi-craft as well. Lovely. Are we in the same boat over here? Can we not make these at Q3 yet? What are we missing to do that? Oh, points. Okay. Where's the mailbox? Let's go see if we can grab ourselves some tailoring knowledge points before we quickly finish those.
How may I aid you? Winds be
This
at
is what
your
worries me about how Blizzard analyzes their data behind the scenes, because on one hand you could look at Delves as being an absolute roaring success just purely by how many people engaged with them, but when you also then, if you were to also consider the drop-off in interest in Delves, in when you analyse that data, you could say that, right, well, maybe they weren't so much of a roaring success, because as soon as you remove the reward from them, people couldn't give a shit. Which is telling, right? This is why overly ambitious reward systems and structures on bits of content can basically fudge the data. And it's sometimes why I wonder... It's sometimes why I think that we see them make the same mistakes time and time again, because somebody behind the scenes is misinterpreting the data. They're like, oh yeah, shitloads of people went and did this and everybody spent loads of time doing it, so they must have really enjoyed it, let's do it again. I was doing delves last night with some more casual players and they were completely thrown by the different story and how the delves felt different to last time they did it. Earthcaller mines with the mine carts and the exploding eggs, by the way. It's also possible that some people didn't even know that there's different variations of each one. So yeah, maybe see, this is it. It's so difficult to gauge what the general perception is of these bits of content. These threads are basically the same price regardless, aren't they? Oh no, Q2 threads are actually significantly cheaper right now. Q1 and Q2 threads are much cheaper, so I should be using them. Dawn thread. Can I unravel some dawn weave? I don't have any cheap dawn weave. Do I buy some cheap dawn weave? Or do I just buy the threads? Dawn weave. Can I turn Q1 dawn weave into Q2 threads? Probably, right? Yes. Okay. Yeah, go. Early indications that I should have just bought the threads. Oh well, you win some, you lose some. How can I make some gold with skinning? Started leveling it, but I don't have leatherworkers on any of my characters. What do I do with it? Throw it on the auction house. Throw it on the auction house. I think there are some popular farming groups that you can join for skinning, which will really, really ramp up the amount of gold you can make with it. I'll check the group finder. There's a bee farm, I think, that's pretty popular. It's not something I do much of myself, but if you're willing to chill in a group for a while, you can make a bit of gold. The loot change for Zekvir was the shit move. That should have been the hint, right? That should have been the really big hint. That hang on, people were beelining to the path of least resistance to get the reward, meaning that they didn't really care for the content that they were doing. They had no real desire to continuously do the delves. They just wanted to kill Zekvir a few times to get their vault and to get that piece of loot at the end of the week. And there's part of me that also looks at this with things like the Illidan skip, the time walking raid skips, that there is a huge demand for people to go skip the entire raid, just kill the last boss, just so that they get that reward out the back of it. There isn't really that many people who are overly interested in doing the raid again in a time walking fashion. Which is a bit sad. I don't know how they deal with this. I don't know how Blizzard deals with this, because I think the better solution than time walking raids is probably to do what they've done with the anniversary event and take an old raid and refresh it and bring it into current times. But yeah, I don't know. There's this constant battle with their reward structure for me in Blizzard, that sometimes they can't seemingly get people to do the content without a really, really strong incentive to go and do it. Which is an indication there isn't really too much inherent fun in the content that they're producing, which is a problem. Rewards, be they cosmetic or gear, very little content in the game will get engagement without a reward, no matter how good. Well, this is where I think they need to be more creative with their reward system. Pets, mounts, gear, transmog, these have been reward structures that have been in the game for a long time. And for a lot of players, they've clearly done it to death. I'm not going to bother making more of these spools. I should have just bought the spools in the first place. I don't know how they... I don't know, you know, they can keep the treadmill going by constantly putting a new carrot on the end of the stick. What I think they could probably do... And this is where... Now, hold fire here before you shoot the messenger. This is what I think rep grinds were better at doing. Is that they gave you a goal that you were working towards, which was a long-term goal. Every single one of the rewards that they seem to throw at you nowadays are like instant gratification rewards, right? You do a thing, you get a thing. You do another thing, you get another thing. It's like very, very small, right? You can, there's no big overarching goal that you're trying to achieve in any way, shape or form. Look at when a brand new MMO comes out, or look at like vanilla leveling, for example. The fun was playing the game, right? There was huge amounts of inherent fun in just working through the different zones, completing the quests, killing the mobs, experiencing a zone, leveling up a little bit, getting stronger and moving on. The core concept of an RPG. This is what I feel that they really struggle with the end game of WoW now. That reaching max level isn't really an achievement in and of itself anymore. So much so that most players don't believe that the game even begins until you get to max level. And then once you have reached max level, it's like constant instant gratification rewards. You're just bouncing from spot to spot to spot. I'm not going to do this unless it rewards me for doing it. Anywhere in the game. Anywhere in the end game, if there's no reward, people don't do it. And it's a mindset that is contagious. And you get built into this routine of expecting there to be a reward for everything. Like, you will not move out of the capital city unless there's a reward for you doing so. And it's contagious, but contagious like a virus. It's like, once it's bedded into you, it's super difficult to get rid of that mindset and to just go out and do content because it's inherently fun. This is why leveling, I think, needs to be reevaluated. I'm one of the few people, I think, that thinks leveling should be way slower. Leveling right now is way too fast. The fact that you can get a brand new character from 0 to max level in an afternoon is bonkers crazy. I think leveling needs to be much, 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 much slower, and it needs to be significantly more meaningful for your character and for your sort of... Characters are just disposable for players nowadays. Oh, I'll just level another character, like, you know. It's difficult. It's difficult to fix, but leveling, I think, is one area where they could slow everything down aggressively. Make it actually mean something. Make it useful. Am I hearing slow leveling burn him at the stakes? Nobody has any emotional attachment to their characters anymore. Every single character that they create, they level it so goddamn quick. They gear it so quickly. There's no emotional attachment to it because you've not really put any effort into that character, to be honest. And it's why the game ends up feeling really arcadey. Retail is arcade mode, you know. Classic is the more MMO focused version. This is why so many people have wanted... They wanted classic vanilla. They want classic fresh. Because they want the RPG aspect. They want to level a character. They want to play a character. They want to progress with that character. And they want that emotional attachment to their characters, which you can't really get in retail because everything happens so fast. But yeah, I don't strictly know what the solution is. But I'm just expressing some of the things I see around me. Would you say that people are more time poor now and that there's far more competition for people's time? That WoW has given these super fast dopamine fixes. Otherwise, they'll lose them to another game that does. A couple of years ago, that was exactly the situation, and I think this was what Blizzard got into. They're like engagement. We've got to keep people. We've got to keep people. But this is why in recent patches and expansions we've seen them. Well, Blizzard has done a really good job of creating an ecosystem around World of Warcraft now. An ecosystem such as that. Well, if you're not playing retail, Cataclysm Classic might be doing something interesting. If you're not playing Cataclysm Classic doing something interesting there, then well, maybe there's a Plunderstorm bonus mode that's available to you right now, or a remix mode, or we're going to allow people much more easy access into the betas for the new expansion, for example. They're far more effectively saying that, right, well, if you don't want to play this one game mode, well, how about this one, or this one, or this one? And they're all tied into your 1 monthly subscription for World of Warcraft. So as long as you're bouncing between the 2 or 3 different options that they've given you, everything is golden. But this should also mean that they don't have to push so heavily with this dopamine injection, like just battering you with like, here's a carrot on a stick, here's a carrot on a stick, here's a carrot on a stick. Time gating shouldn't necessarily need to be a thing anymore in the retail version of the game for most aspects of the game. The fact that they're time gating secrets, by the way, ridiculous idea. Whoever decided that that was a smart thing to do is in the wrong job. I don't know how many of you saw this, but like Blizzard have been teasing. Let me see if I can find the Wowhead post. Blizzard have been teasing the secrets, and people have been running around trying to find. They'd found the key, but they didn't know what the key was for. And then they turn around and go, "Great job on this. By the way, the next phase of the secret will be available in a few days or something." Yeah, here, look. This is mental. Blizzard's second message for the secret hunters. "Great job so far, eager secret hunters. The next step and the rest of this secret will be available on November the 19th. Why the fuck are they time gating secrets? It's like, are you shitting me? This is mental. This is one of the worst decisions they could have made, right? You've got a niche player base, you've got a category of players who are already super engaged with your game, are not going to unsubscribe tomorrow anyway. Why the fuck are you time gating their adventures? Zero reason to do this. Absolutely zero reason to do that. And the cat's out the bag now. The worst thing about this, more than anything, is they've told that entire community to log off. Come back on the 19th when there'll be something else for you to then find. Mental decision. Absolutely broken decision. This is some of the things that worries me about the direction that they take retail sometimes. They still think that they need to time gate shit. They don't. You really don't. It's a terrible, terrible decision. The storyline, the campaign. Don't drip feed us shit. We don't want drip-fed stories anymore, Blizzard. No need for drip-fed stories. If you're going to release a new patch, give us access to do the entire storyline in one go. Anyway, I don't know what got me on. I don't know who unlocked Ranthius, but it's got to happen occasionally, right? I have an emotional attachment to my characters for as long as they keep making me gold. Goblins tend to be slightly better at keeping themselves busy during the down phases. During the periods to where actually you could quite easily log off and come back another day, but people choose to not. They time-gated a simple quest line in Hallowfall. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Why? Why? They time-gated it on a weekly basis as well. Why? Zero reason to do that shit. Actually mental. I think these are some of the mindsets that Blizzard needs to realise that they don't have to do anymore. That their dedicated player base will stick around actually significantly more effectively. Let people play the game in the way that they play the game when they want to play the game. Especially in content that's predominantly solo anyway. Let people experience the RPG aspect of the game in a much better fashion. And if they want to log off and go play at something else, then let them log off and go play something else. I've said this for years. If you time gate and you drip feed people content and you only incentivize people to do the content because of a reward, you're more likely to piss that player off so that when they unsubscribe, they ain't coming back. There is no need to keep people, you know, playing the game 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, 30 days a month, 365 days a year. Because like the previous comment said, there is a lot more competition out there nowadays. People want to go play other games. They want to put World of Warcraft down for a week or two and not feel like they're missing anything. Or not feeling like that they can't, you know, they're, oh, I want to go play this other... I'll be honest, look at me in Factorio right now. I would love to just put World of Warcraft down completely, go play Factorio. But I've got so much sunk cost into my characters right now that if I went away for 2 weeks, if I went away for 4 weeks, came back to play World of Warcraft, all of my characters would be significantly behind the curve. And I don't feel that there's a way for them to catch up again quickly. Which I know I am absolutely 100%. They've got their claws into me, and it doesn't let go. I'm aware of it. I'm aware of it. It's better than it was last expansion, but it's still not great. And I still don't think they really need to do it. I think it's a business decision that's more scumbaggy than it is helpful. And they would be much better suited to, you know, let the reins off a little bit. At least it's not 915. Wait, what was 915? The fact that I can't remember what 915... Oh, hang on, that was Korthia, wasn't it? 915 was... Well, 91 was Korthia. What was 915 all about? Probably not a lot. I don't know. Let's go do jewel crafting. 9-1 scarred me. I didn't mind. See, for me, Shadowland, I experienced Shadowlands in a totally different way to many other players. Because I was elbow deep in Shadowlands legendary crafting and holding my position as one of like the 3 to 5 players who were crafting and selling every single legendary for my server. I was so elbow deep in that I experienced Shadowlands in a completely different way to others. My experience of Korthia was 90% grinding rep on alts to unlock the new Crafter's Mark and the new base legendary recipes, which would have been, what, tier 5 and 6 then. That was entirely my experience of Korthia. Although, that said, we did actually mess around and do some of the bits and pieces in Korthia as well. I don't think we totally all the things did, but I think we did pretty well with Korthia in general. I didn't think it was as bad of a zone. I think it's, some people have very negative attachments to Korthia.
What brings you here?
I don't think it really offered much for the endgame player to do past 2 days of rep grind. which is probably why people didn't like it. I don't know. It's far too in the past now, I can't remember. For Corthia, Blizzard had to remove the time gating since people figured out how to access the south part. That's true, actually, yeah. Gamers did gamer things. For Corthia, I had to switch between all of the covenants each day to check which quests gave the Mog sets. Fun time. Oh, God. Pull the ripcord. Have I got no tailoring point? Okay. Right, we need 20 more points in here until we are tippity top at everything that is bolts. We're already able to do all of the other fun tailoring stuff. So we need 20 more points. And then we're pretty optimal with anything crafted here. I'm still, because I've not put any points in here, missing the... Where is it that we learn the... That's the bracers. Where do we learn the... Was it in here? Do I already have it? Wait, hang on. Oh, we do have the Daybreak spell thread. Huh, okay. I didn't even know I learned that yet. Okay, this dude is done though for now. Two expansions later, still pull the ripcord. I'm really waiting for the day that Blizzard just, you know, takes the reins off. And they say, right, they should really, if they're going to make retail the arcade simulator that it is, they should really just embrace that, I think. And the way they do that is by getting rid of all of the time gating, getting rid of all of the drip feeding of content. If they want to have an 8-week patch cycle, fine. Give people a patch, let people go do it. Don't drip feed it for 4 weeks. Give people 4 weeks of downtime. And then release more content 4 weeks later. Like, so for like, this is probably a little bit controversial, but for like LFR, for example, why is LFR drip fed? Zero reason to drip feed LFR. If that's the difficulty people want to play around, let people do it. Why is LFR time gated? Why can you only do 3 bosses via LFR and then have to wait until next week to do the others? Just let people do it. Let people do it. If that's the scale that people want to play to, let them do it. People who are doing normal mode, people who are doing heroic mode, probably couldn't care less about LFR in the first place. And if they want to do it, let them do it.
We must remember
campaign quests. Don't release a new campaign quest every week. Drop a patch. Give people the ability to do the entire campaign storyline. Give people a couple of hours of play that will be enjoyable and probably memorable. Drip feeding it 1 week, 1 quest at a time basically means people do it, but then they don't, it's not memorable at all. And it's just a tick box exercise by that point. It's not really benefiting anybody, anywhere, in any way. But anyway, Ranthius is going to bed again now. Say goodnight, Ranthius. Let's make some gold. I'm clearly hungry. That's the point. I've been up for too long already today. It's clearly lunchtime. Clearly lunchtime. Oh, did I not go pick up the quest on this dude? What an absolute donut. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's going on with the lag here? Hello?
How may I aid you?
Wait, should I have 2 quests here? Massive... Oh! I was like, where's my jewel crafting quest? And then I realised this character isn't a jewel crafter. I clearly am hungry, aren't I? Right, engineering orders. Oof. Not today. Let's just do 2 basic ones then. Hello, game. Is anybody else getting wild amounts of lag right now? Ten artisan security. No, not fussed about those ones. Not fussed about those at all. Usually I don't expect this amount of lag unless it's like on the hour because of the theatre event kicking up, but it's really laggy right now. Oh wait, hang on, what do we get here? Oh, I got it recrafted. That's what it was.
You wish to speak? Ancestors watch over.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I've had some weird lag very often for the last few days. Okay. As long as it's not just me. It's a weird one. As long as it's happening to everybody, I don't worry about it. Because it means it's a server thing and not a my computer thing. I didn't upgrade this to 4 to 5 because I realised it's batshit level expensive to do it. Or actually, didn't I figure out I can do this myself, but it just requires me to do it with concentration? I'm pretty sure that was the situation, wasn't it? That I can just throw some concentration at this and have it done. And I can do it with, like, basically 3 mats. Sure, it bakes in dog shit materials, but I shouldn't... Once it's quality 5, I'm never going to need to touch it again. I'll just make another one. I didn't actually need tier 3 mats to get a recraft on that, did I? That one. Q5 it. Q1 and Q2 mats are basically the same price, so if I can use Q2 mats and use less concentration, bish, bash, bosh. Beautiful. It's baked in shit materials to it, but I couldn't care less. I'm never going to need to touch it again. I'm more likely to make a second resourcefulness tool than I am to switch that around again. So that's cool. I was saying earlier that engineering is one of those professions that occasionally surprises you. Like, it's like, why is it possible to make over 10% profit just making chaos circuits right now? It's a bit wild that you can just turn up and make profit on parts. 13% profit margin on gyrating gears. What? What? It doesn't make any sense. This is what this game's come to. It's come to a point where I'm actually surprised when something's profitable. Do you have any vids you can link? I'd like to get my alts another concentration build profession that complements my enchanting ones. I don't have videos I can link, but my recommendation's either jewel crafting or alchemy. They're both professions that should stand out for most of the remaining expansion, that's a good way of using concentration, just by proxy of how the professions work. Alchemy, you're going to spec into probably flasks. That's where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. Unless you want to go the thaumaturgy route, because you have a really good, strong understanding of thaumaturgy. The safer option is to just craft a few flasks every few days, job done. Jewel crafting, there's so many different gems and so many different gem cuts, plus quality 3 gem dust is so much more expensive than quality 2, and likely will always stay that way because of how you make it. Jewel crafting, you can craft a couple of gems every couple of days and it's GG. Do I need to do anything on this dude anymore? I don't think so. 4 points. Where are we spending 4 points? What did I try and do in here? I was putting points in here to get the gun better, wasn't I? I think I got to the point where I could already craft the gun at Q5. Maybe not guaranteed, but it's something I'll probably upgrade over the expansion anyway, so why not? I've got 80 knowledge points in the bank for enchanting on this dude. 80 knowledge points in the bank. And I haven't even done my weekly stuff on it. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140. Spend those at some point. Is it too late to start fresh though with 0 knowledge points? Oh, absolutely not. No. You can literally start making a profit with... they're the 3 big professions. That's 4 fingers. They're the big 3 professions where concentration is still and probably will continue to be lucrative. Within 20 minutes, half an hour, with any of those professions, you can start making gold with them. And then it's just, you know, the way concentration builds work is you open yourself to more options as time goes on. You're not going to be able to turn up like and in 5 minutes start mass producing things at top quality. No, but what you will be able to do is log on to that character every couple of days, craft something that will make you some gold, and then log off and wait till your concentration comes back. And as you're doing that, bang out a few crafting orders, get some quick and easy knowledge points. Most of the time you'll find patron orders that can actually make you a bit of gold at the same time, so there's no real make a bit of gold, get a little bit of progress. It's steady, consistent. The steady, consistent crafters are the ones that are going to win out this expansion, and the more characters you can do it on, the more concentration you'll have as an account overall. And concentration is money, this expansion. It's a little bit more mobile, gamey than a lot of people would like. But the game's the game. That's just what works right now. And it's what probably will work for most of the expansion. Enchanting is clearly the one that's been hyper advertised more so than anything else, which is why a lot of people have enchanting. Character name is literally cream pie. Fuck me. I don't know why I'm crafting this. What's it give me? 10 artisan security. I'm sure I can do something with that. I said I'm not going to do these weekly quests because it's 10 shards.
What is your command?
Even 10 shards is too expensive.
May rook nor ram take you far.
Yeah, that's 600 gold for 3 knowledge points. I'm not doing those.
Order. We must
Nope.
remember both.
Feels like a waste having all of these tunes with just one profession. Yeah, I mean, I've done this combo on most of mine. Enchanting and jewel crafting is the way I've gone, but that's because I know jewel crafting very well. If you're more confident with alchemy, go out alchemy. Alchemy is a little bit more expensive to set up, but it also probably has the potential to make you a little bit more as well. I don't know. I've just been a jewel crafter for life, so I know the profession inside out, and I've generally preferred jewel crafting, but personal preference. I also tend to find it's a little bit easier to actually find work orders you can fill properly with jewel crafting. More often than not, the alchemy ones are going to require your concentration to fill them until you are like pretty well set up. Which obviously, anytime you're using concentration to fill a patron order, that's concentration you're not converting into gold.
Ah, I've been expecting you.
But we suspected this very, very early on when we first saw concentration. We were like, okay, the trick to make more gold is to maximize the amount of concentration you have. How do you maximize the amount of concentration you have? Well, the easiest option is to level more characters. The more characters you have access to, the more concentration you have access to. The more concentration you have, the more of it you can convert into gold. GG, well played. I have 220 concentration, which isn't enough to do anything particularly fancy right now, unless I wanted to buy a book, which I don't particularly. This toon has got full blue gear for enchanting, but is still... Oh, full blue tools for everything everywhere. Well, in that case, then, this can be spent on getting knowledge point books. This character was also making enchanting crystals, wasn't he? For my army of enchanters. So that's why we were putting points in here. What's the best setup for jewel crafting concentration? Oh, simple, gem cutting. Just slap points in gem cutting. It's like really simple. Really simple. Gem cutting is your primary node, then fill out these secondary nodes. That's really all you need to do. This character's a little bit weird because it's focused on making a profession tool for all of my enchanters, but under normal circumstances, just slap points in gem cutting. Fill it out from the middle outwards. 50 points here is your first priority. Then start putting points in the secondary nodes. And once you've filled all the secondary nodes, I mean, technically you don't need to fill any more than the secondary nodes. It's not really a build per se. It's just put points in gem cutting and win and craft the thing that you've put points in. There's so many different gem cuts that there'll always be something that's worth spending concentration on. I honestly tend to focus pretty exclusively on the basic gems. So the single stat gems. So like quick emeralds, deadly rubies. You can nearly always use Q2 mats on there, throw some concentration at it, boom, profit. You know, 115% profit. You spend 2,000 gold, you make 2,000 gold. Because you'll go out and you'll sell this for like, you know, a bunch. By the time you get some resourcefulness and multi-craft procs and things in place, you're good.
I have one-of-a-kind items.
I wonder actually, before I spend points here, is there any other, with me putting points into this Profession accessories. Are there any other profession accessory recipes maybe I should buy? I got the Enchanter's Crystal. I probably should pick up... Where have they gone? This. Because we'll be good at making this already. Just for some easy work orders and the occasional... So maybe I'll do this. Let's just pick up the extravagant loops recipe.
Do not loiter.
Where is it? That one. Yoink.
Stay the course.
Catch-up system for enchanting's so good. The other ones are a bit naff. There's part of me, I agree, but there's part of me that wishes that enchanting wasn't so good because it makes the others look trashed, even more trashed here than they already are. Yeah, I mean, I've said from day one that the catch-up system via patron orders is a bit trash. But, like I said, it's also better than nothing. It's better than having no catch-up system whatsoever and being beholden to like 10 points a week or something silly. At least you can be consistent. You can log in every day, check your orders, and if you really want to be diligent about catching up, you kind of can. But it's still a bit shit. there's no distracting the fact that it still feels a bit trash when there's something that's so quick and easy. I kind of look at it from the perspective, though, of there needs to be some friction. Because if you remove all of the like, if you've got no friction, nobody else has got any friction. This is why I think enchanting is really good right now for concentration, but it's very quickly getting squished. And the question is how far is it going to go? I think we're not that far away from most enchants being like 3, 4, 5 gold per point of concentration, and then they could even go into negatives. It could even end up being that there's so many concentration crafting enchanters out there that the supply of quality 3 enchants far outstrips the demand, so far outstrips the demand for them that even concentration isn't going to make you any gold. I wasn't convinced that was going to happen at the beginning of the expansion, just purely because the amount of volume of enchants it would need for that to happen. But it looks like we're going in that direction. The question is will it ever... Will the downward price trend of enchants keep going? Or will some people give up once it gets below a certain point, which will keep it sort of buoyant for those that are willing to stick with it or not? I'm not sure. If all the professions had less friction, then it would also dilute not everybody having the same... Well, that's also true. Yeah, that's very true. That there's probably 10 times as many enchanters right now because there's less friction to catch up, which is its own worst enemy, I guess. Yeah, because I suspect at the end of the day there is a finite amount of players, and if you spread it out a little bit more, maybe it would be better. I don't know. It's all hypotheticals, because we can never... Unless Blizzard do it, we can only guess.
The winds guide you.
But for the most part, I'm kind of still very much enjoying tinkering on each of the professions. I am at the point now, though, where even on my concentration alts, I have mostly blue equipment on both of my professions. Okay, I haven't on this character specifically, but on a lot of my characters, I've got blue tools for both jewel crafting and enchanting. And simultaneously, that's meaning that I don't have much tinkering to do. And I enjoy the journey. The log on, craft a few things, sell it, which is where you actually make the gold, I get really bored of really quick. Because I don't do this to make more gold. I've got plenty of gold. I do this because I enjoy playing with the professions. But I'm weird. The fact that you can make a bunch of gold by doing it is the bonus to me. I wonder if this week is the week to maybe go play catch up with enchanting, you know. Did you shuffle to enable you to get all the blue tools and equipment? No, I've focused on the tools and the equipment before buying the knowledge books. Because concentration builds have a very low ceiling for the amount of knowledge needed in most cases. And so my artisan acuity went into tools first instead of books. You'll see I'm, you know, often missing a lot of the books. That's not to say I didn't do any shuffling. On my main crafters, yes, I shuffled like my life depended on it, but that was to take advantage of the Q3 markets when the going was good.
You wish to speak? Winds be at your back.
Alright, 215. Not enough to do anything interesting there. Can we put some points in you? And once again, 29 out of 30. Every time. Every time. Do I have... I don't have a scribbly book. Oh well. Every time. I'm just stacking points in this now. For a rainy day. Alright, we're good. Scrub, still using the mailbox. I only end up using the mailbox there because it's next door to where I hand the quest in anyway. Welcome in though. Right, I think I'm going to quickly blast through these last couple of tunes, just getting the weekly quests out of the way, and then I might be done for a while. This morning's stream was always going to be a bit shorter, as we're streaming again this evening for the Warcraft Direct event. And luckily today's not a concentration day anyway. Oh my god, did I not hand in my jewel crafting quest last week? Oh well. I guess this is a very quick character then.
The winds guide you.
Game's not going to bless me and give me that quest again, is it? No, of course not. Flipping hell. Oh well. Let's go check patron orders quickly anyway. Does watching your stream when direct is on count for the rewards? It does, yes. It does. Drops will be enabled on my stream. So if you want to vicariously watch it through my channel, I will welcome you in with a warm embrace. Dog shit orders. Good thing I didn't have a quest, I suppose. $195, not enough to do anything interesting. I think we still need 300 before we can do anything interesting on this dude. This dude's got full build. Full build, but yeah, we need 900 artisan security to cap these. 200 in the banks, 700 to go. Okay, I got 2 more characters. I'll do them later. I'm not fussed. Boys and girls, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you all for joining this morning. Like I said, we'll be back later. I'll probably start the stream again at about 7 my time, which in numerical hours is like 5 hours time. We'll start the stream a little bit before. We'll probably put a bingo card or something together. We'll see what Warcraft Direct has to offer. 8 PM server time. I don't know. What is server time? What is server time right now? Is it 2 server time right now? Come on, game. Load faster. It's, yeah, oh, it's late o'clock. Yeah, in a little over 5 hours, I'll probably throw the stream back up. I'll go get some food. I'll chill for a bit, and then we'll watch the Warcraft Direct this evening. Maybe, maybe you know, maybe it's worth a few beers this evening. We'll chill out. It's a Wednesday after all. Maybe do some casual crafting, sell some stuff in the background whilst we do it. But yes, we'll be back later. Thanks all for joining. Come say hi in the Discord if you're not already there. Links are down below. Thank you for the subs, the bits, the follows, all the button presses. I appreciate them all, and especially all of you that sit through the ads. Thank you very much. I'll see you all later. Have a good one. Peace.